I literally just got a phone call. Oh my god. Call's done. I'm gonna show y'all how to make sweet tea the right way. First step, you're gonna need a big jug like this, hand for scale. It's a pretty decently sized jug. Second step, you're gonna need yourself a pot. It's not that big of a pot. Hand for scale again. It's a smaller end pot. And you're gonna need sugar. Lots of sugar. All right, I'm gonna circle in step by step. That's just everything you need. Well, also that and water and a flame, but I'm assuming that you'd figure that out. All right, step one, you're gonna wanna fill the pot. It's about halfway, which generally is the same for every single pot you're gonna use. So.
I'm gonna speed this part up.
Yep, that'll do it. Yeah, so I completely forgot in the part where I tell you all the ingredients you need. I just completely forgot about tea leaves, or tea bags, whatever the hell you call these things. You're gonna need 2 of them. This is objectively the best brand. You're gonna need 2 of them. God, that's shit. Then your next step, you're gonna wanna start boiling your water. If your thing's a piece of garbage like mine, doesn't want to start, you're gonna need a lighter. You're gonna let that sit there until the pot is rolling in a boil. And yeah. Okay, while we wait for that to start boiling, we're gonna go ahead and scoop our sugar into a pitcher here. Now, I would recommend, you're gonna need a big daddy scoop. Like that, hand for scale. You're gonna need a pretty big scooper, and you're gonna wanna put 5 to 6 scoops depending on how diabetic you are. I'm more of a 6 scooper. I have to rewatch the video to figure out how many I've put in. I think that's 4. Okay, 5. And then we'll say, actually, yes, screw it. We'll do 6. These little clumps, try to break them up. I'll do 5 3/4. That'll do it, donkey. And then you're gonna wanna put this up. You're not gonna need sugar anymore, obviously. Once your pot starts looking like this, you're gonna wanna throw in your tea bags. So you're gonna put those in, and you do not wanna hang the bag or the leaf out or anything. You wanna put the entire thing in. I'd recommend using some kind of apparatus, like a spoon, to push them in. Make sure they get completely soaked so they sink. Save the spoon, you're gonna need it for later. And then you're gonna wanna turn off the heat. And then you're gonna let them sit for 15 minutes. You're gonna let the tea bag sit for 15 minutes. I would recommend setting a timer, of course. And just let it sit. Don't do anything to it. It needs to think, it needs to concentrate, it needs to focus. Don't mess with it. For 15 minutes. Okay, so when it's done, please continue to be very careful. This stuff is very hot still. And do not sit it down on your countertop. Get some rags and put it on top of it. It will crack your countertop. And if that happens, you can no longer get onto me for it. So this is when things start to get really complicated, so make sure you're paying attention. Okay, so you're going to want to, I want to go ahead and put the pitcher in the sink. I'd clear the way so you have access to the sink as well. So you're going to want to take your tea and using your spoon to make sure the bags don't fall out, pour the hot tea into the pitcher that has the sugar in it. Pour it in a way like you're using brain cells, so that way you don't accidentally lose any of this stuff. And you're gonna wanna set this aside. Do not throw the bags away or put water in the pot or anything. We're gonna wanna take this tea that's in this pitcher and stir around until all that sugar in there is melted. Be careful, this tea is still very, very hot. You're gonna wanna do this until you feel there's no more clumps or little giblets when you're mixing it around. Now once you've completely mixed all that warm tea water together, you're gonna wanna get your pot that has the 2 bags in it And you're gonna wanna fill it up with cold water to about the halfway point again. Actually, no, do it more like to the third point. You're gonna fill it up about a third of the way, and you're gonna take your spoon and smush the bag against the side of the pot. Be very careful when you're doing this. You don't want to accidentally break the bag open. When you're done doing this, it should have this kind of a color to it. Kind of like caramel. And you're gonna want to pour that into the pitcher as well. Once again, make sure you don't accidentally drop the bag into the pitcher. And then you're gonna want to do that again and again. And you're gonna want to keep doing it until you either fill up the pitcher or the water turns clear. It may take you 3 to 4 pots to do this. It'll slowly get less and less brown over time. And you may want to reposition the bags when they're in the pot. So that way you're smushing new leaf bits and not just re-smushing the same ones over and over again. Now it only took me 3 pots to get to the point where we weren't making any more. That was my 3rd pot and it was barely brown in color. And then you're just want to fill up the rest of the pot. If you really want to get every last bit of value out of these bags, you can fill it up again and get the slight bit of flavor, but most likely you're not going to be getting much. It's not going to make much of a difference. And you're just going to want to fill up that bag, or you're just going to fill up that pitcher now. That's about perfect. And now, I would give it a good little stir in one more time, because you put a little bit of water in there, and all that rich tea is gonna be at the bottom. You're gonna get it all evenly zhuzhed around. Once you do that, you're gonna put this in your refrigerator, and you're gonna want to leave it there for a little while, like several hours. And the reason you're doing that is because it's gonna start really rich. Like that flavor is gonna get really rich. You drink it right now, it's not gonna taste like anything really. Like it's not that good right now. You're gonna let it sit in there for a couple of hours. It'll get nice and cool, and it's gonna be absolutely delicious. Ice is recommended, but not required. Actually, no, you're kind of sick if you don't use ice. There you go. Sweet tea, sweet enough to tranquilize an elephant. Like and subscribe.